Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Just a quick one today. I'm just chiming in for pretty obvious reasons. Today we're going to be talking very briefly about Valentine's Day because yes, that's the day. And of this daily channel, it's sort of with regular videos pretty much day in day out. This is the first time that's going to be covered properly. So I mean, there's a couple of things we could talk about really. I mean, in terms of the network sense. There's with this channel as a part of, for reference, we've done a couple of things to kind of mark the day before. It's off the top of my head, I'd say really there's maybe a couple of minor things where it's been referenced before for various different occasions, and I know there's a bunch of other people connected to the network who do Valentine's based videos. I think there's definitely two instances which are pretty big. One is very recent, obviously, and the other is quite early. There was an early episode of the Matthew May Show's original run, which was very orientated around Valentine's Day, but it was shot at Christmas for some reason. But no, that was very much a thing that you can check out, and I think it was still a pretty half decent video to this day. Yeah, it was very popular as well at the time when it came out in college era. But no, that was a decent outing. On top of that, we also have today's podcast episode, which is a very I'd argue very strong deep dive into that topic and what it's like to be both in a relationship and out of it, and kind of bad experiences. Trying to kind of establish like a community sense for people to sort of come down the podcast and listen to it and really feel kind of at home this evening, because it's not always so easy for everybody. And I hope that that especially I hope there's a lot of guys and girls out there that don't feel incredibly alone tonight, because and I know some of them won't and they're not that bothered, but it is a big deal to some people, because it is a constant reminder that some people are in a certain place in life and others aren't, and really that's obviously it's one's own choice to either kind of accept that and move on with it, or really let it affect them. And some people aren't as interested as others, but it's necessary to really consider that this day is very much an optional thing. This is not something that should just completely cloud over everyone just trying to get on with their lives. Is very much an optional thing that people partake in, and I particularly say that to people who don't have anyone particularly special tonight to spend this time with. It's not never really take it to heart. It's something that is very special to people who are in a fortunate position that they can kind of use it, and it's a nice kind of day to mark in the annual calendar. But it doesn't mean it's kind of the be all end all. It's not your birthday that's going to come and pass. And it's going to happen regardless. It's an option to do this day. It's not. It doesn't just happen, and it's not like a wide thing. It's not Christmas. It's not Easter. This thing just happens for certain people, and there's no pressure on anybody to try and act a certain way or fulfill this day. It's very much each to one's own. So really, a big point that I would make about this day, particularly marrying with this the episode on the main channel, which came out today of the BDLM podcast with Dylan Hewis, which was a great time recording, and also I think a really nice package now finished edited. I highly encourage you guys to go watch that, especially if you don't have anyone with you tonight. It's really, I think Dylan does a great job of kind of understanding things from a very sensitive point of view. And it was a really nice discussion to sort of talk about this kind of area of discussion, which is very important to people, but in a way that is very caring, and I think we handled it well. This is not something that I take lightly as a topic, because it's something that I know that a lot of people go through and they struggle with, but really there's one thing that we can talk about today that is really worth noting. Is not so much of just keep going, it'll work out in the end, because honestly sometimes it doesn't. And Dylan made a wonderful point today, which was last week anyway when we recorded it, when he said that happiness in oneself is really the biggest driving force for something like that. It's not. A relationship won't go very far without genuine happiness and self-worth, and that is it really struck a chord with me, and I really appreciate him saying that, because it's true. And I would highly encourage that for anyone at home now alone who doesn't have anyone tonight. Just think about what you will do this weekend. Think about what you might want to go and do. Would you want to try horse riding? Would you want to go for a run? Would you play some games and just sit there for 6 hours, just enjoying your own company playing GTA 5 while we wait for GTA 6? But you get my point. It's just filling your time with something that makes you happy. It's There's so much more. I know that it seems like the most incredible addition, and it is, but there's so much more to a person's life than other people in it. One's own life can be a force in itself, and I think if you just get a notepad and pen out and write what you can of what makes you happy. What do you like to go outside the house and do? What do you really enjoy? And I don't mean with your buddies, because they might not always be available. I mean, what do you do by yourself? What do you find? What are you passionate about? What do you want to do? And what do you feel happy to do? With me, for example, obviously I've done a hell of a lot of reviews in the last few years. The sheer amount of times I had to go to the cinema by myself to do that job, you've got to enjoy your own company to a certain degree, and you've got to go to those movies because you enjoy going to the cinema. It's a similar deal elsewhere, whether it be fitness, more technical things, or entertainment, like what I did. There's so much you can do in your own company and enjoy life by yourself. Everyone else in your life you're lucky to have. They are additions. They're not your life. You have control of that. So take control of it tonight, if you feel that you have to. But I'd encourage you to do so if you need a bit of encouragement. So I hope that's helped, if anyone needed to hear that right now. But know there's some Valentine's Day based content on the main channel right now. One article very, very recent in that respect. And so feel free to check that out. If you like these videos that have been daily since the start of the year, feel free to subscribe. But until tomorrow, guys, be kind, do your best, and always remember, you are enough. Bye, guys.